Some viewers contacted me. They said, Sajid, you are not making any videos on military strategy. You are not analyzing this situation. You are just reporting news, what's happening on ground. And this reporting is being done by several other channels too. Then what's the difference between you and other channels? I can analyze military situation, military operations, but there is so much coming in that it becomes difficult to work on building analysis views. So I thought of having a detailed look, analytical look at the operations so far in southern and western Tigray. In southern Tigray, in Raya zone, Amhara regional forces made a grave mistake, viewers. And they are paying. Now you see they are trying to mobilize forces from across Ethiopia, regional forces from Oromia, SNNPR, Sidama, Somali region, Gambela. They are joining Amhara regional forces. This mobilization should have been done before Amhara regional forces lost Koram. Losing Koram town was a grave mistake. I'm saying it mistake because Amhara regional forces could have done better, I think. They did put up a fight there. It's not that they just withdrew from Koram. There was heavy fighting near Koram. But the mobilization which we are seeing now, it should have been before fighting was going on near Koram. Koram was a key place, yours. By losing Koram, Amhara regional forces have lost a strategic location in southern Tigray. Why is Koram important? Have a look at this map, viewers. You can see Koram on this map, and you can see Alamata to the south of Koram. You can see that Koram is on high ground and Alamata is on a flat ground, and it's almost impossible to hold on to Alamata after losing Koram. Then to the west of Koram, you can see a road, viewers. It's a very key road. It connects Koram town with Waghimra, with Sikota. So by capturing Koram, Tigray Defense Forces can now target Waghimra zone from two sides. They already had access to Waghimra zone via Chile Sikota road, a main road which was being used by Amhara forces and Ethiopian National Defense Forces for their supplies when fighting was underway in central Tigray. That road was taken by TDF when Mekelle came under the control of TDF. Now the second road, Koram Sikota, it has also been taken by TDF. It has led to vulnerability of Waghimra zone views. Waghimra zone is very vulnerable now. Waghimra is in Amhara region views. Tigray Defense Forces now have access to this region from two sides. They can carry out attacks from Koram side, though the road is through mountainous areas, but they can gain access to Waghimra from Koram. Then they can gain access to Waghimra from Chile as well. So a strategic location has been lost by Amhara regional forces when they lost Koram. This mobilization should have been before fighting was underway in Koram, and they should have done their best to save Koram. Now, the towns to the south of Koram and Alamata, like Kobo, Robit, Waldia, these towns are on flat ground. But around these towns, there are mountains. Especially to the west of these places, there are mountains. And reportedly, Tigray Defense Forces are consolidating their positions on these mountains. They are capturing high places. And if they capture high places around to the west and east of Kobo and Voldia, these towns will easily fall, viewers. So here again we are seeing that Tigray Defense Forces are capturing mountainous places, and this strategy would lead to fall of Voldia, Kobo and other places to the south of Elamata. Amhara regional forces now have the support of other regional forces as well, but can they devise a well coordinated strategy to save these towns to the south of Alamata? It remains to be seen. Raya is rather mountainous, viewers. By mountainous, I mean that towns, cities to the south of Korum, they are on flat ground, but there are mountains around these towns. So, who is in control of high places is very important. Tigray Defense Forces have been fighting for the last 9 months in mountainous places in Central Tigray. So they are in a better position and they have an advantage over Amhara forces in terms of having better skills to be in control of these high places. If you compare Raya with Western Tigray is not mountainous, viewers. It's rather flat terrain. And Tigray Defense Forces could not make any considerable advance on Western Front so far. We heard of fighting inside Adigoshu. Adigoshu is situated to the west of Tekeze River. Tigray Defense Forces did cross Tekeze River, but they could not capture Adigoshu. Adigoshu is being treated by Amhara forces as a sort of red line, and they have fought in Adigoshu. They saved Adigoshu, views. Then Amhara forces captured May Sabre. TDF are claiming to have recaptured it. So here on Western Front, we're seeing that there is a sort of stalemate. Tigray Defense Forces have not been able to make considerable advance on Western Front. Amhara forces are putting up a very impressive fight on Western Front. But on Southern Front, their strategy had very serious loopholes. Let's see what happens in coming days. Lastly, Eritrea Tigray border front, almost no news from this front. Tigray Defense Forces must not launch any large-scale offensive on this front. Badme is under Eritrean control. TDF should allow Badme to remain under the control of Eritrean forces. Tigray Defense Forces must take southern and western Tigray first. They are advancing, and we might see Ethiopian government calling for Eritrean help. If all the regional forces fail and TDF continue advancing, we could see once again Ethiopian federal government calling for Eritrean help. That is why I personally think that Tigray Defense Forces should build up their military strength along border areas. They should not launch any large-scale offensive on Badme or other border areas. They should not give any opportunity to Eritrean forces so that they can enter Tigray. They should focus on western and southern fronts. Let's see what happens. I think for